Hello and welcome to another video. I am using my practice hand today. She's very fancy. The only thing I've got with this practice hand is I'm struggling to find a nail to fit in the thumb section, and I haven't got their ones. These are the acrylic colours I'm using today. They are all from Nailmate, which is from Glitter Planet. I'm using Sunshine, Lemon Sorbet. My nude is Perfect Pink. I've still got the old packaging. I was like, oh, what brand's that? Oh yeah, it's Nailmate. And obviously I'm using clear and I'm using their monomer. I was just inspired by all the daffodils and I just wanted some yellow, beautiful sunshine nails. So I've applied some extra long tapered tips. And I've just literally, the tips that I've put in this hand are actually the flexi tips from Glitter Planet. They fit really beautifully. It's just the thumb on this hand is a bit of a weird one, so I just tend to leave it and don't bother. But yeah, I've applied the flexi tips, and then on top of that, I've stuck my Alina Crystals XL coffin tips, I think they were called. Can't remember what I used to call them. Can't remember. And I'm doing a really thin clear base just because I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and I was like, right, I'll stick my clear base in, that just holds everything in place, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing. And I had to go back and check the footage then because part of it was missing. I've put it back now, so I'm going in with Perfect Pink and starting an extended nail bed smile line on here. I'm going to do quite a deep French. Always blend the back of the bead up first so that doesn't start polymerizing and setting, otherwise that will be harder to do. And then I'm just going to work the bead down. I've kept this in real time so you can see I'm slow, and I'm okay with that because it's a craft and it's not like I'm doing it day in day out. Mine is more for the artistic side of it and for the love of it. So it's about using that brush in really small motions to adjust the position of the bead. It's not, you don't need like big swooping motions, and sometimes it just needs a little tap or a little smooth, and that just gets that little bit extra really nice. So don't stress and like go at it like you're trying to chop up something, or just be gentle with it would be my advice. And then in with my second bead, I'm going to place that at the blend point for the first bead, tap the back of it flat down, and then drag the bead into. So I'm dragging the top of the bead into, and I'm using the underneath of my brush, not the tip but the belly of the brush, and see how that just slides into the first bead. Always check my sides, keep that structure going, just so it doesn't, run off, or because you can just take your eye off it for 2 seconds, and because it's still solidifying, like it will run a little bit, and you just, And then in with the cuticle bead, place that down, take the tip of the brush to work that cuticle area really gently, and then once I'm happy with the position, then I'll blend out the front edge of the bead again, keeping it where I want it. Use it underneath of the brush to blend the bead, and that's how you avoid scooping. Like when you are trying to move a bead and you end up removing it or like shifting too much of it, that's because you're using too far at the tip of your brush and not enough of the underneath of your brush, or your movements are too heavy and not light. You only need a light movement. It's a product that moves anyway. And now I'm just applying what would be like your apex bead. So taking it from the cuticle down, leave the bulk of it in the back of the nail and just blend the front forward. And again, really light motion, nothing too eccentric, just tippy tap taps and smoothies. Okay, so I wanted to just do the front end of that smile line. I just felt like it was a little bit off, So I added some more there. And now, obviously, because I've done that, I now need to make sure I blend the sides. I tap it all out. I make it tap out. That's like wrestling, isn't it? Tap out, or MMA. We're going to do it with nails. Tap out that acrylic. Right, so I'm going to leave that to set now and crack on with the rest. I'm going to do a full nail of perfect pink, but not too thick, because I'm going to go over this with a glitter acrylic and then cap it in clear. So I want enough to get the tone, the shade underneath, but not too thick. So I'm working quite a big bead. I'm only using a size 10 brush. I don't go above a size 10 really. I don't need to. I would never be able to use a big brush on my tiny hands or Abby's. And I don't know. I'm just used to working with a 10, so I work with a 10. That's what I'm happy with. You can pick up a pretty big old bead with a size 10 brush. As long as you feed that bead with Monomer, I don't need a big brush. It's just not a bit of me. Don't like it. I know nail techs that work with size 8s and don't want anything past a size 8. Equally, no nail techs that like a 14 to 16. So I think everyone's different. But yeah, I'm just taking that bead down right to the tip, and I'm trying to just create an even base. Nice and even. And I'm paying attention, even though there's still a lot more product to go on. If you don't pay attention to the little things at this stage, they'll creep up on you. So like if there's a little lump and you just go, well, I've got to put stuff over it, that'll be all right. Well, that little lump will be bigger when you finished. So it's worth fart arsing around with it now. And then just then not having to file it out later. Going in with my second bead. And I'm going to tap the back of that bead just to make it a deer, and then blend the front of the bead. Again, with the underneath of the brush, it's easier to see it from the side, I expect. So I'm using the belly of the brush. And it's still the front of the brush, but it's the underneath rather than the tip of the bristles. And then I'm going to go in with another bead at the cuticle. Go right behind that bead with my brush, with the very, very tip, and that is when you use really gentle motion so that you're not smooshing it. And it's easy to smoosh it. It just takes one tiny second of drop of concentration, which I do all the time because I don't have very good concentration. And then keeping an eye, see how easy it is to lose that shape on the side. So I'm always like mindful, going back over, tap, tap, blend. And the more you do that, the less filing you will have at the end, and just the more confident you will be, because you'll look back and go, oh wow, yeah, I got that shape really good. Now I noticed a little gap at the side, so I've picked up a bead, I've bled the liquid out the back of the brush onto a towel, and then I can just fill in that little gap, and it was never there. Now obviously I'm not building my structure, this is just the base colour. So now I'm going in with Lemon Sorbet, which is the glitter acrylic. This is absolutely incredible. I've had it for a few years and I friggin' love it so much. I've also got like the pink one as well. Oh, I don't know, it's the glitter in there. It just makes my heart happy. I love yellow, so I'm going to do a swoosh, like an S shape. And I like to do mine thin at the top, thicker in the middle, and then thin at the base. So I'll kind of tap it, like you can see here, I'm tapping it into place, and then I use my brush to carve, and you can remove anything you don't want or push it into place and start defining the shape. So it's like you're then writing almost, but you're tidying up the edges. That's the way I find it easier to do. Everyone's got their own technique. Some people literally place that bead and swoosh it into place instantly, but I carve it. And then if I need any extra little bits of glitter here and there, I'll just fill it in. You only need a small amount of liquid on your brush and just pick up a tiny bead. And then you can just tap it into place, or like carve it into place, however you work best. And then I will give that a couple of minutes to, you know, set into place before doing anything. If you're going to cap it instantly, just give it a little bit, not too long, but you just don't want to literally place that bead and then whack a clear bead straight on it like now. That would be too soon because it would just move. So I'm not capping immediately. I'm going to go in and start my ombre now. So the first colour I'm using is Sunshine, which is a yellow, and it's got like a shimmer. It's like a shimmer yellow. So it's got this sparkle like the sunshine. So the name is very apt. And I'm not creating thickness, I'm just creating colour and background. So we don't need bulk. That's why you need a good pigmented acrylic. You need a company that you can rely on their quality. And if you do want to order anything actually from Glitter Planet, I'll put my discount code in the description box for you because you will save some money. And we like saving money. And then I'm going over the top with Lemon Sorbet, which is the glitter. So you've created your background colour to give it some depth. And now you're going to whack even more sparkle on top, blending it because we're going to ombre, so it needs to be thinner towards the cuticle. So I'm blending it back. Isn't it nice to do an acrylic design set? Can I just say that? Isn't it really nice? I'm doing more. I miss acrylic design so much. So beware, there's more acrylic design coming. So while that ombre nail is setting as well, I'll leave it. And I'll go on, we're going to do a full nail of Sunshine on the pinky and then go over it with a full nail of Lemon Sorbet. So I'm just following the same technique. I'm building up colour, not structure. So we want it as thin as possible with the colour, you know, the way I need it, I suppose. What are you drinking? I am on Yorkshire tea, obviously. And what time is it where you are? It's currently, what time is it here? 8:20 in the morning. 8:20, I've been up since 5:30. So I'm raring to go now. Raring to get my day started. So yeah, as you can see, I still build it up as I would any nail. Like I try and do 3 beads. It's easier with colour because you keep it thinner so you don't need to add any more product. But you do need a good quality acrylic. I've worked with cheaper brands when I first started because the temptation was, well, I don't know how good I am. I just need to practice. Honestly, hand on heart, you need a good brand when you are learning. You need a good brand when you are developing your skills because cheap brands will work against you because the quality's not there. The quality of pigment, the blend quality with the acrylic and the pigment, it's just not there. It will cause you no end of trouble. So I know it feels intimidating, but invest in yourself. That's honestly, invest in yourself because it will make your job so much easier and you will develop your skills and your confidence so much faster. I've been there with my eBay acrylic sets. Oh my God, I've done it all. And there just wasn't as much out there back then when I learned, and now there is. So it's really good. It's great that we have brands like this. When they're created by a nail tech, for nail techs, do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not just anything. It's somebody that's really thought things through. So as you can see, I'm keeping that glitter layer really, really thin as well. Don't need a lot. It does it for you. Look, it's reflecting the light, bouncing it around. It's easy peasy. Now, I am not going to work on that smile line yet. I'm going to go in. Now the ombre nail has had a couple of minutes to set while I did the pinky. And I'm going to ombre with Perfect Pink. So I'm blending the front of that bead with the underneath of my brush. Really gently, light, wispy motions. And obviously it ombres really easily. You can do the ombre the other way around. So if you struggle with ombreing your nude over the top and you think, it's too much, too stressful, I don't want to do it, then just do the glitter over the top. They look just as good. They look amazing. Some of my favourite ombres I've ever done are with the glitter over the top of the nude acrylic. So maybe I'll do that on my next set. We'll do some different ombres. I think this one just became more of a trend, but it doesn't matter either way. Ombre's an ombre. Alright, so I've blended that in. Now I'm going to cap these nails before I touch that smile line, because you don't want dust on any of your other nails. So you cap your design nails, then go in and work on your smile line. Don't be filing that smile line when your other nails are not protected, because you will end up with dust particles and it will really ruin the end result. I wet the nail first before I go in with the clear acrylic, and that's just because it's dry and I'm putting something on top that I want to almost melt into it. So if I had a little bit of monomer to that nail quickly, just to swoop over with my brush, then the bead that I place down will naturally just kind of adhere and melt into it, and there's less chance of any dust, dirt, air bubbles, anything like that. So I just find it makes it a lot easier. And constantly checking the sides. That's where you're going to lose your shape, right, is the sides, isn't it? So keep working that bead down the nail. You can do it in 1 bead, 2 beads, 3 beads, 10 beads. Does not matter. So don't put pressure on yourself. There are techniques you can learn if you want to, but as long as that nail is encapsulated, and the rule is it's easy with working with glitter, if it ain't matte, it ain't capped, which means when you put this clear acrylic over the top of the glitter, it loses its sparkle and goes matte, and that's how you know it's been encapsulated. So if you can see any sparkly bits peeping through, you know they've not been encapsulated. You need to go back, make sure you encapsulate it. The sparkle will come back at the end when you top coat, but yeah, if it ain't matte, it ain't capped. That's the rule of thumb. So I'm just going in now with my cuticle bead and keeping an eye on those sides there, nice and gentle, tapping the back edge with the very tip of the brush and putting that apex just a bit further down, just building up a bit more product there. Lovely. And I noticed a little dink in the middle. So like if you look from the side profile of the nails, or you can look down the barrel, but that often makes my eyes go cross. I don't know why. Does that happen to anyone else? But yeah, if I look down along the side, you can see if there's any dents here and there. And then I'm doing the same with the ombre nail. The difference here, oh, my brush was getting sticky. Obviously, I need a new brush, guys. Thank you for those that have donated to the Sarah Brush Fund. Thank you for watching, commenting, liking, sharing. It all helps. Yeah, I don't need to encapsulate the whole nail because the nude has got the structure at the cuticle. Hello, Misha. So I need to encapsulate the blend and then look at the nail from the side and make sure that it is even and okay. If I need to add clear acrylic on top of the nude, I will do so to make the nail look even, but it's not necessary. The main part you need to encapsulate is your blend, because when you do your shaping and finish filing, you will file it away. And I've done that when I was a beginner. So I'm just checking what I need to do, assessing which bits need more encapsulation, making sure the glitter acrylic is encapsulated. If it ain't matte, it ain't capped. There we are. And then it's just a case of keep checking my sides, keep checking my structure, keep checking my apex. And then I'll move on to the index finger. That's had plenty of time to set in place. And we'll encapsulate that entire nail, which is why I kept the base layer nice and thin. And I went in with a big cuticle bead this time and thought, oh, I'll stick one there and walk it down the nail and see how far I get. See what I mean? It doesn't matter. Sometimes I start at the tip, sometimes I start at the cuticle, whatever mood I'm in. I mean, I know when you're first developing, it's best to do it the same on every nail every time, because then you will have a routine and a set way of working, but I just mix it up as to how I'm feeling now. And you'll do the same as well. Everyone does things their own way. You develop your own like method based on the basic education you get. Blend in the back of the bead, obviously. I want that to blend in first, and then we'll walk that down the nail, tapping as we go. And then we're going to start working on that smile line in a minute. I've really, really enjoyed doing this acrylic design so much. Building up some more at the apex, tip of the brush behind the bead, and then blend the front of the bead out. And there we are. Yeah, I've really, really enjoyed acrylic design. It's like I've missed it. I don't know, I just think sometimes, I don't know, you get caught up in like, oh, we're going to all do this or we'll all do that. But I really love acrylic design. It makes me happy. And I think, for me personally, it's easier. I can do more. I find it easier than working any other way. But we all have our favourites. And acrylic design will always be my favourite. I just feel like it's so versatile. So I've started filing in my smile line and then realised I wasn't filming. So this is what I'm doing. Push that nail back up. I'm using the 180 grit side and I'm trying to push it hard up against the side of the smile line. And essentially file it in, make it as neat as possible. Don't worry if your file slips like that. It's not a bad thing. And I'm going to work both sides. See how I'm just trying to get it as like right up there and swoop it underneath. Obviously you need to file in a swooping motion, otherwise you're going to end up with a flat edge at the tip of the smile line. So you want straight at the sides and then swooping into the almond shape. And I'll do that until I'm happy with it. And then clean it, dust it, clean it before you apply anything, because otherwise you'll have dust inside your smile line, which you won't want. And then once I'm happy, I'm going to go in with Sunshine, and we're going to take that up into the wings of the smile line. And the key here is, again, how thick you're working. I mean, I feel like when you do a smile line, there's just always a lot of acrylic, and you just got to prepare yourself for quite a bit of filing. But if you've got a good quality one, then you can work a lot thinner like this. And what I need to do is create that line of definition between the nude and the yellow. So you want it nice and tight up against there. I'm not so worried as it goes to the tip of the nail, because that's going to be more glitter. So it's almost like ombreing from solid yellow at the smile line down into glitter yellow at the tip. I didn't really use a specific method, more just like making sure my colour was good and solid here and just letting it melt into the glitter. It just sort of happened naturally. I didn't have to like go, oh, how am I doing that then? Right at that tip of the smile line, I want a nice solid colour, and then, yeah, just let it blend out naturally. And it's just keeping an eye on those sides to make sure that they don't get huge. Then I'm going in with Sunshine. No, not Sunshine. Lemon Sorbet, the glitter acrylic. And I'm just teasing that with my brush into place and then blend it back so that it's not just plonked on the end of the tip. It's like feathered back. And then I'll just keep adding that until I'm happy with how it looks. I mean, the more sparkle, the better, really. I think that's the important thing. Sparkle, more sparkle. Can you have too much sparkle? I don't think you can. Now, obviously, I need to, once that's all in place, I need to wait a couple of minutes just for that to polymerize and sit in place. It doesn't take long, like literally a couple of minutes. And then I can go in and cap it. And that's when you're going to build it up before you file it down, basically, because it all needs to be encapsulated. And once you file it back later, it all needs to be at the same level, because you've built that smile line up, that wall. And mine was quite thick, actually. Well, it's not major thick, but I felt like when I was filing it, I was like, "Whoa, this is a whopper." Anyway, I'm going in with my clear acrylic now. I'll just swoosh over again. And then in with the clear, and we'll start encapsulating this. So basically I need the tip that I've just filled with colour and glitter to match the thickness of the smile line. Or not. I mean, if it's below it, then you just file the smile line down into it. So it's choice. If it's really too big, then yeah, file it into it. Every time I do a voiceover, the cat just wants to sit on me. And also, if I'm singing, she will not leave me alone. It's really funny. She's a little minx. And you just need to be careful here, with the wings, it's easy for them to get quite thick. So we need that strength and structure, but also need to keep control of the product and kind of keep patting it back into place, bringing it back to where it's needed, because it's naturally just going to go off the edge. So I'm just patting and tapping with the underneath of my brush. If I feel my bristles sticking, because my brush is really old, so I will clean it quickly and then come back and work with the product with a clean brush. I remember when a brush might last me 2 days, and now it's like years and years, so it's not really a bad thing. Just tappy, tappy, tap, tap, tappy. I feel like Happy Gilmore. Tap, just a little tappy, tap, tap. Just a little tappy, tap, tap, tap. But I keep playing with that until, it's set. I will mess about with it. I want it in place, as smooth as you can get it. And I'm going to keep adding to it. I didn't really have much of an apex structure here. Don't know why. I just didn't do it with the nude. So I thought, I'll do it now then. Add a bit more. And then also I can kind of pull it down and add to the wings there a little bit. Checking the underneath because I smooshed it. Clean my brush. I've kept this in real time so you can actually see the speed I work at. All of this has been in real time. Obviously I've cut bits where I'm faffing in between, but my work is in real time. You notice when I put my bead down, look, my brush is sticky, I will hold it for a couple of seconds as well, and that's just because the brush has the monomer. So when I place that bead, I just want a couple of seconds where the brush feeds the bead, and that will make it easier to work with. Unless I'm working with colour acrylic, then it's easier to roll the bead off your brush, really. Sometimes I forget, but it is actually easier. You see how that's all coming together now? Looking more conjoined rather than split apart, I suppose, is the opposite. I did add a bit more in the wings, and to be fair, I don't think I needed it. I probably ended up filing it off because they got a bit thick. But I don't know if you're like me and you overthink. I do. I'm like, oh no, I better put some more there. Oh no. So yeah, that was my bad. I had to file it off. But I just wanted to make sure it was definitely capped. Definitely capped. Because there's nothing worse than filing off your design. It's just gut-wrenching. This was the point I went, oh yeah, I've made that a bit thick, haven't I? Oh dear, looks like she's got a finger problem. But it all comes off with a file, so don't worry. There you go. Look, they're filed now, as if by magic. Painstaking. Now I'm going to put some bling on, because I couldn't resist. I've got a combination of some yellow crystals and some AB, and I was only going to put one or two, and then I just sort of, I got a little bit excited. The adhesive I'm using is, I can't remember. It's in my Salon Essentials, so I'll put a link to my Salon Essentials. Can't remember what it's called now off the top of my head, and I'm nowhere near my desk. So yeah, I just sort of got a bit excited and started adding more bits. More. Part of me wanted a massive cluster. I miss crystal clusters. I might have to do myself a set of blingy nails this week. I just might. So going in with the little ABs, and then I'm going to just sort of do a little bit more around the cuticle. I want more bling on my finger. I really want some blingy nails. Yes, I like the combo of the yellow with the AB. I think it makes it pop. As you can see, I just continued. But it's so pretty. Why wouldn't you add more? More is more with bling. Look at that. Very nice. I think that's lovely. Lovely bit of sparkle. Right, no wipe top coat. Let's go in. Watch this acrylic just absolutely just come to life. It's so beautiful. Oh, look. La. If there was heavenly music, it would be now. My favourite part of acrylic design is the top coat, because where you filed it, it's all muted and matte, and then you go in with your gloss top coat and it's just like shebang. It's like it comes to life. And being that I think I'm a magpie, or I must have been in a past life, when it sparkles, it's just, oh my God. It's amazing. So beautiful. Now with this nail, I'm going to do as much as I can with the main applicator brush, but I will have to go around the crystals with a detailer brush, and that's what's going to hold them in place and stop them catching. Because the last thing you want... Oh, and I did just flash cure the index finger, because I'm not dealing with a human, I'm dealing with a mannequin hand that's quite stiff. And my hands are not very strong, so I need to flash cure in between just to make sure I don't smoosh the top coat. So yeah, I'm taking a detailer brush, and you need to go around the base of all the crystals with your top coat, and that just creates an extra seal, which means water won't get in, which then means your adhesive won't break down. It means that hair won't get caught under there. It means clothing won't get caught under there. So basically, Abby had crystals on her nails. She lost 2 in the space of like 3 weeks, but she works in a shop and she's opening boxes of stock and her hands get battered. But she had like 3 or 4 crystals on every single nail. So out of all that, she lost 2 crystals. So yeah, and she said she tried nibbling them as well. So it is a tried and tested method. Look at that beautiful nail. I love it. Quick flash cure, and then let's top coat the ombre. Again, just a satisfying top coat shot coming in here. Whee! I've really enjoyed doing this set. I did have to do it over 2 days because halfway through I got a migraine, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. My spine hates me, honey. There we go. Look at that. So good. I love this colour so much. It makes me happy. And the sun was really bright and it was lovely and warm. So I managed to get like the finished video shot outside in the garden in the sunshine. And it just, oh, look at that. It just looked so beautiful in the garden with the sun on the nails, reflecting all the glitter, and you can't beat it. Like, I don't know if anyone else is at the point where they're getting some nice weather, but it just makes you feel alive. Just seeing the flowers coming up and smelling the sweet blossom in the air. Oh, it's lovely. Really, really beautiful. So I'll give that a full cure now. And then I will show you the finished shots. Are you ready? Are you ready though? Yeah. Okay. There we are. Look at that. I'm so happy. I hope you've enjoyed this set. Let me know what you think and if there's any colours you'd like me to work with next. Maybe some pastels or spring designs, 3D flowers. Just let me know in the comments and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.